Welcome back to episode 29 of the survival world. I'm starting out here because there's a lot of stuff that I want to explain gradually, and if I just started in the middle of it, I feel like that would be harder to do. So, first things first is this. I moved this from the back of the base, not the back of the base, but the back of the building, just because it wasn't really getting this side when I was working over here, so I just moved it to give it more like cover uh, area. And I finally, you'll notice, I started over there and there was no Wither health bar. I finally got rid of that thing, which is just so much less annoying. I wasn't a fan of the world going dark and the health bar popping up every time I walked over there. Turns out it was deep underground, like the last one had been, which I don't really know how that happened because I spawned it above ground. Um, which is, I mean, that's why my old house is all destroyed because it, it chased me there. So now I have that third beacon there, and I put it back where the first one used to be. This one. It's down in the hole that I made a while ago, and I don't know why I really put it there, because I don't need it there. I haven't done anything over there in a while, but it's whatever. I didn't really need a third one at the moment. But you'll notice here, I've kind of been shaping this down into more of the pathway that I'm planning to lead into the rest of the buildings that are going to go here. And I'm still figuring out how to kind of make, like, the more rich part of the city that I'm going to be making kind of fit in with those buildings over there, because ideally I don't want to have to relocate those, but I'm also wanting, like, a kind of like poor and wealthy kind of separation in the base I'm gonna make. Oh boy, I almost fell. So I'm still kind of figuring out how to do that, but I'm gonna kind of try and build this path downwards, which is going to be difficult because I don't have an elytra anymore, or my hoe. I was just trying to get some obsidian and then I got trapped under it. Somehow, I don't even really know how it happened, and I lost everything but my netherite stuff, which luckily was the most important stuff, but my hoe and my elytra did burn. And then here, which is where we worked last time, we made the tree. I kind of beefed up the tree a little bit. I think it looks a lot better. I really filled it in. I think from above it's still kind of iffy, but this is my favorite angle, because it kind of droops more down. I think I definitely made a mistake with the other sides, kind of like bringing it up there. Like right here, it just kind of looks not like an actual tree. Trees don't usually do this, where they just kind of like stick upwards. It looks like the Whomping Willow from Harry Potter, where it's like branches just go straight upwards, and that's not really what I'm going for. So I may work on that a bit later, but I can't really until I get wings again. And then I've just kind of been putting a lot of the miscellaneous stuff around here. I got more trial keys, so I put these in here, because I really wanted to get like a mace or one of the music discs, but I couldn't. I could never find a new trial chamber, so I just went down to the one that we went in a while ago in like episode 8. Actually, it was maybe 10. And I had actually found one of the ominous vault chests that I had not found yet. I completely missed it. It had nothing interesting though. It was like a diamond chest plate, which obviously I don't need. And then I finally filled in the whole color wall, and it just looks so nice here. I also found a bunch of trail ruins, well, only 2, but it got me a bunch of random stuff, like way more glazed, way more colored terracotta, and then some glazed terracotta. And also a bunch of red candles, and not a bunch of purple ones, but I just got a bunch of different colored stuff from the ruins, which was nice. And then if you were here last time, you'll know I updated to 1.21.7, so I have all the new plants over here, and I think those will look really nice when I can start using those, especially the bushes and the firefly bushes. I'm excited to use those around like the city I'm gonna make. And then this is the first time I've seen the bottom of a cactus. I don't think I've seen that in the game before, because, you know, if you just place one down, you're just looking at the rest of the same texture on top. I actually didn't know they had an inside, so it's weird to see that. Only time you would ever see that. And then I just have some random stuff up there. And that's about it for changes in the storage room. I realized I was talking a bit fast there because I'm just trying to get everything out in like a quick enough time. And then I did a bunch of stuff out here. I really got carried away with what I was doing between episodes because I was just putting on videos in the background and getting to work. But here I've tried to kind of detail the inside because I'm trying to get rid of all this sandstone color because it gets very plain when it's all together. So I think I really like the pillars here. I'm still not sure about these things because I like them when you're head on. You can see the pink really well, but only this column. Every other one just kind of looks like holes, and you have to really get in front of one to see it, so I might change how big the gaps are so you can see it from different angles better, or stuff like that. And then these are a bunch of pots from the Trail Ruins. Not much happened over here, I just added the pillars. I do like this kind of thing I've done here. It's a different kind of pillar, where I have the color in the back. And I like that a lot. I feel like there's a way I could make it look a little better, though. Because, like, from the side it looks nice, but then if you kind of come on it head on, that's what I don't like as much. But it's not bad still, so I'll probably try and think of something. And then my original plan for the museum was also to have armor sets. So I got to work kind of working out how maybe the armor plaques would look back here. And I was doing the wild trim. What? I didn't know you could do that. That was funny. I was working on getting the all the sets for the wild trim back here, and I realized I was like, oh, I'm done here. But no, I want every armor set and every trim like paired together. Meaning, this is just one thing. Then this would also have to be the wild set, the wild trim, I mean, and it would have to be something like iron for the material, because this is just the copper material. And not only that, I accidentally used the last one. I was in the smithing table, and I was getting a little ahead of myself, and then I just used the last one I had. So now I have to find another wild trim. And honestly, this whole idea might be a bust, because I don't know if I want to put that much work in. But the original plan was this is going to be for the copper armor when it comes out, because I know that's been announced, which is going to look weird, copper on copper, but, you know, you've got to have it for the bragging rights. And then this would be netherite. And that's what I'm saying. Like, it's going to be so hard to get. Like, do you know how long it took me to get this set? So many hours of blowing up beds that, like, I never want to go to the nether again. That's about it for in here. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I've done, but I think that's really it. Just exploring, working a little bit on the museum, trying to get it more natural looking. I really need to, now that everything's done, connect it to the ground. Well, not everything is done, but before I do the roof, I want to get it connected to the ground Because now that I'm without an elytra, I definitely need to make it easier to get up here by foot. And, I mean, clearly it is not. So I think that's what we're going to work on a little bit today. We're already 10 minutes in. I've really tried to get through all that fast, but, I mean, I did get carried away with what I did. And then the first thing I did was finally clean up under here. I got everything lit up. And from here, I just got carried away with what I was doing. So it's been like 4 days of just me doing chores. And, I mean, it's been fun, but I feel like I just have done way too much off camera. Of course, like, I've done a lot, but I don't know if any of that would be, like, a good thing to make into a video. Because I did explore the trail ruins, but, I mean, that's just a bunch of digging, I feel like. And I don't know if people really want to watch that, especially since it's not, like, the new update anymore. I did get the music disc from it, which I actually didn't know there was a music disc that came with the update for the Trail Ruins. Trails and Tales, was that it? I don't remember the names of things anymore because they're just pumping them out so fast. It's like hard to catch the name and remember it. And back here, I was testing out like how to kind of give a weathered look to the tuff, and I really liked. Okay, I really liked just using the normal tuff to kind of offset the brick texture, because it's, you know, it's still the same kind of color shade. Color shade? It's still the same kind of shade of gray, and I think it works really well. So I'm kind of putting it heavy around the building. Because I feel like that's where it's going to be worn down more from, like, rain dripping down off of the roof and stuff. And, I mean, I imagine people would walk closer to the building if this were a real building. I don't know, that's just kind of my thinking. So, yeah, I've just kind of been doing that, and I'm out of tuff. But I think the main priority right now is getting this path fleshed out, because I need to be able to get up and down easily. So I'm gonna get more tuff, and I'll kind of be back when it's like more fleshed out. I'll just kind of see if I can get a few layers done and such. So I'll see you then. Alright, so I've kind of fleshed out. Man, I feel like every episode I just pick a random phrase that I overuse. But I smoothed out the platform out the front. My goal out there is really to have like a nice big kind of a walking area, and maybe later we can put like a fountain and benches. And the design, I mean, the idea is for it to kind of be like this waiting area before you can go inside the building, or just like a nice place to sit if you're walking around the building, because it's kind of like, the idea is that it's like free entry, and you can just go in and see the museum features. God, why am I blanking on the necessary words? Exhibits. Jeez. That. So you can kind of just go in whenever you want, and so I guess there's just going to be a waiting area out here if you don't feel like going in, or whatever. I don't know if I'm going to add benches around. I might, I'm probably going to cut off these corners, because obviously I don't want this platform up here to just be a perfect rectangle. I'm just gonna cut off the corners maybe, and like kind of maybe make a steep drop, and then down there the city will continue, is kind of what I'm thinking. So not really like a cliff, but kind of like just a wall, which is a cliff if it's a big enough wall, but it won't be. I'm gonna take these off because I liked it better before. That's why I was up there on the the little pillar. I'm gonna need dirt, since, I mean, even if I had elytra, I would have a lot of trouble going and building from the bottom. You know what? I need one of those happy ghast things. That's what I need. Because you can build under blocks with those things. You know what? I'm gonna go and grab myself a happy ghast. Now that might be very difficult, considering I've gone thousands of blocks in one direction in the nether. But I think it'll be worth it. Hold on. Because this is going to be very annoying without one. You know what? I'll save it for next time. We'll go and do that next time. Now I have a plan. And that way we can continue after the next time. I like that. That's what we're gonna do. Is the plan. But not right now. Right now, we have a path to plan out. And I really wish I could time-lapse this, because this isn't like... I feel like this isn't as interesting as the tree might have been. And, oh man, these trees are in the way. I feel like this isn't as interesting as building the tree might have been. But, you know, replay mod still isn't working, and I don't know how long that's gonna take. 1.21.7 is pretty recent, so I feel like it'll be a couple more weeks. I'm about to go on a couple week vacation, so it'll probably be ready by the time I'm making videos again. Let's hope for that. I might keep shaders off though, if I'm being honest, because as much as I like how they look, I do like my like further render distance more. Alright, well now that these are gone, I'm going... Well, I guess I kind of just have to tower up. This would be a lot nicer with scaffolding, but I used it all in the nether, so I stopped getting lost. Because I would always get lost when I tried to go over to my industrial district. Oh, that's another thing I did. I guess that's one thing I did that wasn't focused around here. I made sure that the scaffolding path that I started a while ago was finally finished. Alright, so I'm just gonna start right here, but as we go down, I kind of want to maybe shape it out a little bit more. It would be nice... Where do I want it to lead to? I want to go both ways, because this way is further away from these buildings, and they'll cause less of a problem. But I also kind of want to start expanding that way, because I really wanted to, like, develop the shoreline. I wanted to make docks and to try my hand at a pirate ship, even though I really think that would go badly. So, I'm not sure which way I would curve this. And also... I want it to be a really soft path and have buildings along the path. Because this is going to be like the heart of the city. Well, not like the direct center, but, you know, it's going to be like a big major building. And so the path up to it is going to have like houses and, I don't know, maybe like a marketplace along it. I think I'm going to get slabs here. Okay, I'm going to make a bunch of slabs then, yes. there an easier way to do this? I mean, there probably is. Let's go. Where? Oh my god, I always forget where the woodcutter is. Alright, so right now we're just going for brick. We're not going to add the texturing yet because, you know, that's too much to worry about while we're also trying to go down. Alright, so we can get rid of that. Okay. That's not what I meant to do. Man. I mean, Elytra wouldn't help much with the falling, but I would be able to fly back up. Okay. So, I like that a lot more. And then we need to add a block here now. And we're not going to worry about those for now. And so we're just going to gradually kind of go down. Oh man, I've placed them wrong. Alright. This is going to take even longer than just the blocks would, so I'll be back when I decide to take the first curve, and we'll kind of see what happens from there. Alright, I'm kind of starting the first turn here. I have to remove these trees too. Everything is in the way. So, here, I'm going to try and get up here to show what I've done. I've kind of winded it a little bit, like this. Oh my god. So this is the idea. I mean, you saw it. Let me show it again. That's the idea. I mean, that's not the idea I had, but I was kind of able to do that. Now, I feel like that does not look good now that I've continued it further. Maybe... Oh, I don't know. I liked this when I was first starting it, but maybe I need to just continue the turn here instead of just kind of going back straight. I mean, if you look down from the top, it's... I think I see the problem. I feel like it needs more... Okay, let me see if I can fix it here. I think it needs more of a kind of turn. And then this one will come out here. Alright, it's not gonna like get this long, although making it a little wider in places could kind of give it a little character. We've got 4 there. Then we can make that to that length. And then now on this block, we start coming back the other way. Like this. Maybe, I think this will look better. I think this is more kind of what I had in mind when I was starting that. From the top, it's kind of but I feel like that's just because it's not a good angle. So let me see if I can get a good look at this. Yeah. I like that. I definitely think with more buildings and kind of like structure surrounding it, and even when I just get the grass in, it'll definitely look a lot better because it'll kind of give it like, it'll block your view from the top more if we have houses here. So then it'll kind of give you more of a claustrophobic feel, which is what I am really trying to get. So let's continue this. I'm gonna try and straighten it out so it's not in line with that top bit there, because I do not want that. So maybe there. See if I like that. I hate building in like the air like this. I'm glad those ghasts are gonna kind of help with that. Although it's a weird feature to include, like, that you can build on the back of them, because I feel like they were meant more for transport than building help. Alright, let's see. Yeah. Although maybe... Maybe I just curve it slightly more. Like that. I like that. I like how that feels walking through it. Alright, let's see it from afar again. Yeah. That looks good. Now, I think it's time to turn it. So I've decided to go this way. I've kind of been, like, thinking it over in my head. And I think it'll be good if it leads to the rest of what I've already built, just to make it easier to connect things up and make everything more coherent. And I can figure out a way to transition from my first few buildings, which is going to be, like, you know, the poorer side, and then this this building will kind of mark the transition into the wealthier side. Along with where the enchanting building is over there, I'm going to tear that down at some point and put something new there, because I went into it completely blind and was going for an odd shape. I feel like if you're going for an odd shape with like that, you've really got to plan it. I had no, like, plans. I was just kind of placing blocks, and I mean, you can tell, because I really don't like the roof I chose for that thing, like the block choice I made. It's just an ugly block, I feel like, when you get a lot of it together next to each other. You really gotta space it out with something else, because it's just a bright teal Hershey's bar is what it looks like. It's annoying to look at. It's an eyesore. And I don't even need the building anymore. Like, I want to make an enchanting themed building, but even when I make a better one that just looks nicer, there's not even going to be a point for it anymore, because I've got all this stuff, and, like, I'm not going to really use it for much more other than re-getting my reacquiring my elytra and hoe, which I actually got a mending book from one of the from the trial chamber when I went back to it to see if I could get the mace. I got a mending book, which I didn't know you could get. So that does make it slightly easier to get everything back. Anyways, I'm not quite sure how to turn this. I want to get it kind of curved, but I don't think I can curve it like I did up there in the style I did with the pathway around the building. So I think I need to just get a big platform here and just kind of turn it using the platform. So where's my bed? Oh, it's all the way up at the top of the path. It is nice, though. Once this is down on the ground, it'll be so much easier to get up to the top of here. And the next time, we'll get the ghast, and then we can work on terraforming all this after that. So I'm very excited that I'm finally like getting things to shape together, because it took me so long to like want to get back into the world, because when I like dug out the museum basement, and then it took me, like I took a break, and then it took me a while to finally get around to making the museum exterior, and then a while to make the interior. But now I'm just really feeling the building, and I mean, it's a shame that I have to go away, right as I'm kind of getting in the groove of that, but it'll be nice, and I can come back refreshed, maybe with more ideas, even. So yeah, I think that's too long of a curve, because I want to keep the 4 here. I want to keep it 4 long, so let's curve it like that, maybe? I don't mind that. Yeah, I kind of like that. And, I mean, this looks like a lot of tuff right there, just all next to each other, but it'll look better when we get the normal tuff. Separate the bricks. Alright, there we go. Let's collect all this. I know a lot of people kind of just let stuff despawn. Like, I watch Hermitcraft a lot, and if people are clearing up things up in the sky, they don't ever drop down and collect the blocks. I can't imagine ever being that rich. I mean, I suppose it is different, because I'm alone. There's not a store I can go to just buy more. But I do not like letting things despawn. I'm a hoarder, as I've said before. And as you can see with my storage room, I have a chest for rotten flesh. I feel like no one does that. A chest only for rotten flesh. Alright, so now that we're turned here, let me see how it looks again. I mean, there's a lot of just kind of like guessing and checking, so to say. I mean, this just needs a curve. I think that's the only problem here. I need another curve. So let's do it here. And we'll do a slight curve like this bottom one, maybe. Although it could use a big curve. I think it could use a big curve. Honestly. The hardest thing will be like kind of trying to fit these houses in on this kind of incline. Oh, I'll have to put parts of them underground. I mean, it's a nice challenge. I'll probably enjoy kind of working it out. Alright. So let's do a large curve. Wait. Which way am I curving? Why is this all messed up? Oh wait, I actually kind of like going 2 blocks at a time here. Let's see how this looks. I might change it up a little bit from the way I did the curves earlier. You never want to do the same thing too much, right? Because then it gets less interesting. I actually really don't like that, so good to know. Let's just curve it normally, I guess. We're gonna start going out this way. And then we're gonna do that. This is a full block. Slab, full block, full block. Alright, let's look at it from above. Alright, so I like this. I mean, obviously this part needs to be fixed up a little bit, but I'm kind of trying to think ahead, like, of what I'm going to be putting on the edges here, because that's important too. So I think here is going to be a nice little, like, plant box. Not little, it's going to be big. It's going to fill up this whole little area right here. I keep saying little when it's quite big. But I'm going to put a planter box there, and it's going to be, there's a tree that's going to be inside, is the idea. And then we're going to have a stone wall going up to there, because obviously this is much higher up here, and I'm, like, the box will start around this level. And then that tree, its roots will be kind of hanging down the wall, along with, like, vines and other kind of plants. And so that's kind of my plan to break up the gray there. I think that'll be nice. So I don't mind that it's kind of coming back in on the other layer of the path, because it'll be a nice way to put another tree in. And maybe I can make it better than the storage one. I guess that's always the goal. I'm having trouble with this last bit. I think I'm just gonna come back when I've finally connected this to the ground, because, I mean, we're so close and I'm having trouble that I don't want to really drag on the recording too long, so I'll be right back. Alright, I think I like that shape to end it. I went for another curve at the very end there, and that's good. I think not keeping it straight gave it a lot of more interest, and it'll kind of make me get creative on, like, what to put on the sides of the path as well. And now all that's left is kind of just clearing a path over to the old house. I guess it really is the only house still. It's my starter house. Still my only house. I've kind of made the museum my house, but, I mean, it's not meant to be a house. But I suppose, you know, whatever the biggest building is at the time, that's what I end up living in. I was basically living over in the industrial district for a while. And there isn't even a building over there. And I have not, like, I've been over there recently, but I have not actually done work there recently. I still have not fixed that wool farm that I made a while ago. And, I mean, it didn't really need fixing, but I never finished it. There's still, lime sheep that haven't been put in. The thing about that is, though, I'm never over there as much as I am over here, and so it doesn't really, like, get the passive, work time. I have to, like, be there doing something for it to work. Just like my firework farm, well, I guess my gunpowder and my paper farms. I don't have a firework farm. You keep getting trash on my beacon, can you not? Thank you. You don't want to come back and try and fight me. Well, you messed up. Alright. Told you not to. Do that further than I thought. So now, we can go up the long and winding path all the way up to the museum. It's a little precarious, because obviously the dirt is not in yet, but I think it's going to look very good when everything is finished, which is far in the future. I mean, I do not get work done very quickly, and when I do, it always ends up being off camera, and then it's like, you know, I've got to spend 10 minutes explaining what I did. I mean, I feel like with the time lapses, I was finding the happy medium where I didn't have to, like, I could do a lot at one time, and I didn't have to worry about it being boring because I could just speed it up, and then time lapses are cool because the music and the time lapse. um, but now without it, you know, I have to focus on the important things again. I mean, not again, because I mean, originally I was just, you know, recording for an hour, hour and a half, even 2 hours, occasionally on some of the really old episodes, and that would be it. You know, it would just be like an uncut session for an hour or so, and I liked that. I mean, I wish I could go back to that, but I feel like not many people are gonna watch that. Of course, the moment you stop doing what you enjoy when you're recording videos, and you've succumbed to the YouTube machine. It's exactly what they want of you. To care more about views and clicks than your own enjoyment. But, you know, I don't want my videos to be like an hour and a half of me rambling, but it was also fun to record that because it was just kind of relaxed. I didn't have to worry about getting something important done. I mean, I would still try and get something done, but you know, it wasn't like, we're gonna build the biggest thing, and it's gonna be so cool, and there's gonna be like 15 time lapses. I have 20 shulker boxes for this build, like, none of that. I was just, I mean, one of the episodes was completely silent, and I was just mining for an hour. Because originally I planned to make the entire series no commentary, because I just felt like it, but I opted not to, even though that mining one is, for some reason, more viewed than most of the other beginning episodes. Probably because the first one, I accidentally, I don't know what happened. I was talking the whole time, but I think my microphone audio went out for most of it. I don't know why I'm continuing this over here. I said I wanted to cut out these corners. Probably gonna make that a little neater, but for now we're just trying to get the general idea there. I do not want these corners continued. But you know what? Why not try and make it neater right now, just to save myself a bit of headache next time I try working on this. Yeah, that's alright. That works for now. I feel like I need a better view of it than just, like, on top of it. As I was saying, the first episode I was, like, silent half the time, even though I hadn't meant for that to happen. And then the second one, something happened where it was stuck on the pause menu, like this, the entire time. And it was just like an hour and 40 minutes of just my voice on the pause menu. So only the first 20 minutes were usable. And so that, it had an abrupt ending and was also, I mean, I guess a lot more people have started watching as the series has continued. So it's getting some traction and people watch more regularly. And now, I mean, videos that used to only get like 8 views, get 80. I mean, the last one got 80, which is really nice. I thank everyone who comes and stops by, even if they don't watch through the whole thing. Because despite the 80 views, the viewer retention wasn't the best last time. But it's still a lot better than it used to be. Alright. Well, that's about it. I mean, I'm pretty much done here. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of work. I honestly don't know if I'm the biggest fan of terraforming. Especially when I have to do it floating like this. Like, this is gonna be a big pain, I think. but I think we'll get through it, you know, together. Especially with our friend, the Happy Ghast, who I will find next time, but that's going to be in a few weeks. That's going to be in a while. So, thank you all for whoa. My tongue tied. Thank you all for watching again, and I'll see you next time, which, like I said, from recording will be a couple of weeks, but I'll try and get back into it quick as possible, because I'm having a lot of fun in the world right now. I was doing a lot of Age of Empires recently, not videos, but I was actually going back to streaming for a little while, and I don't know. I mean, I was enjoying it when I went back to it, but as soon as I kind of took a small break, the break just got longer and longer. It's like, I feel like I have to force myself to do this streaming, and as much as I do enjoy it when I am streaming, I don't know. It's just not really my thing. So, yeah, I've just gotten back into Minecraft recently. I mean, that's the whole point. That's why I'm talking about this. I'm rambling. But, yeah, I will see you next time. And we'll have a path carved out here. We'll get the ghasts. I don't think I'll have an elytra by then, because I'm not going to go to all the effort to get one of the ghasts just to have an elytra anyways. I'll see you then.